Greetings of the day, children. A warm welcome to each one of you for the virtual session of science. I hope you all are maintaining your notebook. Just a gentle reminder to you all so that all the important points for this new chapter, which is a very important chapter for you to understand the concepts and need to learn for the periodic assessment too. So please do maintain your notebook, children. Please do follow the instructions given in the virtual session. Let us continue with the chapter Respiration in Organism Part 4. What are we going to learn in this? We are learning respiration in plants. We have learned respiration in the human. You have seen how the living organism respire, and we have seen in animals how do they respire, and we have covered the respiration, the breathing process in human. We have covered that concept in detail in all the previous sessions. So in this session we will see the respiration process in plants. How do plants respire? Because even plants are living organism, as you all know. They do photosynthesis, they prepare their food, they do digestion process, they will do respiration as well, they show reproduction, all the life process they show. So respiration is also a very important process as photosynthesis in plants. So let us see respiration in plants. And since you know a plant have various important parts which are involved to perform various roles like stems, roots, leaves. So they are all involved in the process of respiration. Let us see. So stem, in the respiration process, one thing remain common. The product which is released in respiration process is always carbon dioxide gas. So even in plants, if there is a respiration process, carbon dioxide gas is released. But the amount of carbon dioxide which is released due to respiration of plants is very less than the amount of oxygen which they give out in the air. And that's why we need to grow more plants, because photosynthesis gives out lots of oxygen in the air. And respiration process, they give out little amount of carbon dioxide. That's why we need to grow more and more plants. Let us see stems, how do the respiration takes place. The woody stems of the plants also respire. This is because of the presence of special tissue called lenticels. The cells of this tissue have large intercellular spaces. They exist as dead cells on woody plants and roots and allow the exchange of gases. The bark of trees, although is impermeable, that means they will not allow, they will not have pores. The bark of trees, although is impermeable to gases, that means it will not allow the exchange of gases. Hence, these tissues have an important purpose of respiration in these stems. So, here the woody stem, they perform the function of respiration in the plants where they lack leaves, where they do not have leaves. So in such plants, the woody stems perform the function of respiration. Normally leaves will perform the function of respiration, that we are going to see, but in some plants where there is no leaves, so the woody stem will take care of this, and there are special tissues called lenticels which will help in the process of respiration. And as the name suggests, lenticels have a lens-like shape. Please do write all these important points in your notebook, children. Then you just have a look at this image. This is the bark of a tree here. You can see this will lack leaves. So here you will see they do not have leaves. So in such case, they have lenticels on the woody stem, and these lenticels will perform the function of respiration. That means they are going to do the process of exchange of gases, because there should be some means in the plant by which the exchange of gases should take place, so that that is the breathing process, and then respiration will happen in the cells of the plants. Just have a look at this. Now roots. How do roots shows respiration? The roots of the plants have hair-like structures on them, and hence they can absorb the air present in the soil. So the small structures on them, on the roots of the plants, they actually help in the process of respiration, because they can easily absorb the air present in the soil. As you all know, the roots are always deep inside the soil, and this hair in the roots will help in the process of respiration. The hair-like structure on them, fine structure on them, those hair-like fine fibrous structure help in the process of respiration, and they can absorb the air present in the soil. As you know, soil is porous in nature. Soil have particles, and they have some spaces in between the particles, and that space is filled with the air. So the soil have air in them, and that air is being absorbed by the hair-like structure on the roots. I hope it's clear, children, and I hope you are maintaining notes. So let us see, roots can absorb air from the soil. Just have a look at this diagram. It will give you a clear idea. You have a soil particle, and you can see the space between the two particles of the soil. So there are some spaces between the soil particles, and that is occupied by the air space. So this is occupied by the air because air is going to fill that empty space between the particles of the soil. That's why we say soil is porous in nature. That means they have some spaces between them that is occupied by the air. And the root here, if you see a root in the diagram over here, just see the labeling over here. The root here it is magnified, and the diagram is shown like that. A root here, a fine structure on the root that will take up the air, and it will give it to the root. So this is how roots can absorb air from the soil. Just have a look and give a clear picture of the absorption of the air from the soil by the roots. Now let us see respiration in leaves through stomata. So we have seen how stems do respiration, how roots take up air. Let us see stomata. Let us see leaves. So here leaves have stomata. That is extremely important for us to understand the process of respiration in the leaves. So here leaves becomes a very important part of the plants, where the plants respire with the help of the stomata present in the leaves. That is the fine pores, the fine opening, that is helping in the exchange of gases. So in the leaves, how do leaves perform the function of respiration? Because of stomata. Please put a heading there, respiration in leaves through stomata. Just have a look at this image, respiration in plants, that is in the leaves. We have seen stems, we have seen roots, now we will see leaves. So here you can see a fine opening, very fine pores. Those are stomatal pores that allow respiration. So these stomatal pores, those are very fine pores, very fine opening. So you have to actually magnify under microscope, and you have to see the leaves will have very tiny pores. I hope this is clear. So respiration in leaves through stomata, when you highly magnified part of a leaf, and you will see the stomata, that fine pores become visible to you, and it looks like this. So what actually happened, you can see in the diagram, carbon dioxide enters while water and oxygen exit. So here you can see through a leaf stomata. So this is how the respiration process takes place. In the stomata, you can see the fine pores being enlarged. A part of the leaf you can see is magnified, and a single stomatal opening is shown over here. So this is the respiration in leaves through stomata. Now let us see stomata. You have to draw this diagram in your notebook, children. Please draw this diagram in your notebook. It's extremely important because you need to know how stomata work during the process of respiration in plants, where the leaves are responsible for the process of respiration. So if there are no leaves, then the other parts of the plant take care of the respiration process. But you see the large number of plants having leaves, and they all do respiration through this stomatal opening. So stomata becomes extremely important, that is present in the leaves, and underneath of the leaves you will find these small pores. So you will see stomata close on the left hand side. That is how stomata look when it is closed. It has nucleus. Please label the diagram with a black ballpoint pen so that it looks neat. So it has nucleus. You can see the chloroplast. You can make small dots, and you can show these organelles or the structures inside. Then it has a huge structure inside. The yellow color structure you can see, that is vacuole. That is the empty space. Then it has guard cells. It will take care of the closing and opening of the stomata. And then it has a cell wall. That is the boundary of the cell. So left hand side the stomata is closed, and this is how it looks. Then you will see the opening of the stomata on the right hand side. You can see the stoma will extend, and it will create a gap in between, which will allow the exchange of gases. So continuous closing and opening of stomata will happen, and that takes care of the exchange of gases during respiration process. Please label the diagram neatly, children, and please draw both the diagram, stoma close and stoma open. So I just one single stomata is actually called as stoma. That's why you have to write stoma close and stoma open. Please draw both the diagram as shown over here and do labeling properly. I hope it's clear, children. So let us see why plants can die if overwatered. One concept based question over here we will do. We have learned about the respiration of plants. So let us see why plants die if you overwater them. You need to put appropriate amount of water. Water should not be put in excess, and in some cases plants die. Why do they die if you put excess of water? Let us see. We know that the roots get oxygen from the soil. We also understand that the air in the soil is present between the soil particles. Along with the air, soil also contains some water or moisture. If we overwater the plants, the spaces between the soil particles get clogged. As a result, the roots will not be able to get enough air, and the plant can die. So you are clogging the spaces between the soil particles. As I told you, the soil particles have spaces in between the soil particles, and the air is occupied between the spaces. And if you water in excess, and if you overwater, these spaces will be occupied by the water, and the roots will not get the air from the soil, and eventually what will happen? The plant will die because of lack of oxygen, because the roots cannot supply oxygen. That's why you should be very careful when you are doing gardening, when you are planting a plant, and when you are taking care of a plant. You need to take care of the watering, because you should not put water in excess. You should not be under this impression that you put more water, plants will grow faster. It is not like that. So please see that you should not overwater a plant, because you are not helping the plant. You are actually creating an environment where the plant will not be able to survive. So please be careful when you are watering plants. I hope this is very clear, children. Here we come to an end of the session, children. I hope it was interesting session. Please draw the relevant diagram. Please draw only those diagrams which are mentioned in the virtual session to you all. Please be particular about the diagram, children, and the notes. I hope you all are maintaining your notebook. Just a gentle reminder. Thank you children and have a great day.